All right, in the next panel, we got some unbelievable companies here. WalkMe, Papaya, ZipRecruiter. We got amazing stuff here. And I'm personally looking forward to this panel. Big fan of a lot of these companies. So guys, please do take the stage. And Athena Karp, CEO and founder of HiredScore.
Do you guys want to pick up the mic? Or we'll pass the mics. Great. Well, guys, welcome to the Future of Work Powered by AI panel. This is probably the most exciting area of AI in all of our views. We have an amazing panel today, CEOs, founders, product, technology leaders, across different elements of the future of work. Everything from AI in onboarding and employee learning and training to the candidate experience, how and in what ways people will apply to jobs or get jobs in the future, to the future of global workforce management, compliance, and regulations, to kind of the building of AI by workers. So grateful to have everyone here. We'll get right into it by kicking off. Would love for each of you to answer how AI has impacted your area of work.
Hi, thanks. So I represent a company called iMerit, and it's much more than how AI has impacted us. For us, AI is the workforce. And the workforce we have of 1,300 people work in AI technology services. So they do computer vision labeling and natural language processing and things like that. So for us, that is the core of our workforce, the way we skill them to be able to deliver AI services.
Hi, I'm Eynat from Papaya Global. So for us, I think before I'll answer the question, I'll try to explain you what we are trying to solve. And for us, the main issue that we were trying to solve with AI was how do we keep track on global compliance and how do we monitor different payroll processes within more than 90 countries. And this is the challenges that we had, and this is actually the challenges that we are currently solving with AI and with automatic processing, ensuring that we can learn and monitor different compliance and regulation on different countries and ensure that we can apply them automatically without any human touch.
Thank you. So my name is Avi. I'm managing the engineering side here in Israel for ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is a jobs marketplace. We connect between job seekers that are looking for a job to employers, mainly in the US, Canada, and UK. And for us, AI in the, I'll say like last year or maybe even 2 years, is like the main driver to what we're doing. Is the entire journey for a job seeker or for the employer is on our site or application app is basically driven by AI, so the matching and like the searching and everything, all the recommendations that we provide are driven by AI, and this is how we provide value to our customers.
So hi everyone, I'm Kobi from WalkMe. I'm leading the product at WalkMe. So in WalkMe we develop what we call a digital adoption platform. We all know the term digital transformation, right? Everyone's trying to do it, most of them fail. So we at WalkMe help companies to actually achieve digital transformation by providing a layer on top of any application, whether it's web application, mobile or desktop application, that helps the end users to use it correctly. So it can save and reduce actually costs on training, support, onboarding, etc. So if you think about those end users, and in our case employees that are using those systems, we need to provide a consumer-like experience to those users. So we use AI in order to enhance the general experience that those users actually have while using the system.
Great. And we'll get deeper into this with kind of the next question, which in your respective verticals and area of how AI is powering the future of work, can you give us kind of the biggest or most exciting challenge that AI is in the process of unlocking or solving? Start with Kobi.
Yeah. So actually, I will talk about the other side of HR, which are employees that are working in companies, right? So those employees are used to using mobile apps and consumer applications. So we want, as a company, as an organization, to provide an employee experience, right? We want to provide the best employee experience in terms of everything that they use in the organization. It can be, you know, we want to provide them the best place to work in, like the perks, etc. So I look on things on the software that they use. So if they use the CRM, the HRM, the ERPs, we need to provide them the best experience so they can save time and they don't have to really learn how to use the products, but just use them. So we kind of solve this and try to help companies to achieve smooth sailing in terms of the way employees use internal products. So for example, at WalkMe, if I want to take a day off, I don't even need to know which HR system we use. I just go into our chatbot, I just type take day off, and everything is done automatically. And the HR can replace those systems, they can change. I don't even know which HR system we use. I know maybe, but some other companies don't, right? So it really provides kind of a layer on top of everything that we do as employees that makes our life much more simpler.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the verge of another change, a major change in the workforce. So if you look at the recent study from the World Economic Forum, which says that 65% of the kids that go now to just enter school will work in a different job type that doesn't exist today. So think about 10 years from now, like there will be many new jobs that currently we're not, maybe we're just starting to think about or we're not even thinking about. So there's a big shift that is starting now. Think about like drone operators. On our site, we're seeing 400% increase in jobs as a drone operator. Like, who thought about that like 5 years ago? And it's changing. It keeps changing, and it's something that we'll see over the next few years. And I think that will make people be more agile and like learn new jobs or job skills. And they will need to be adjustable and as we go.
I think this actually connects to Radha's point, so maybe we have her follow and then Eynat.
Yeah, for us, the most exciting part of AI is job creation. It does create jobs. We have 1,300 people. We're adding 250 people a quarter. And why? Because it is needed for AI to be deployed, to become a production into the businesses. And the other exciting part of AI is the kind of workforce that we can actually skill and employ. So our workforce, the average age is 24.6, and I joke that the 0.6 is only because of me. Otherwise, it would be like 24. It's 53% women. And why? Not because we're going out to just be diverse, but if you look at computer vision work, dense pixel segmentation, doing iris annotation, things like that, women are really, really good at being able to do very minute types of work from a quality and throughput point of view. And the last piece for us is the inclusivity of the workforce. So 80% of the people that we bring in come from backgrounds that may not have college degrees. And we bring them in, they work through a nonprofit, they get trained, and when they come to us, we do assessment, and we actually can say, can this person do image work better or NLP work better, even though they may have not had any of the NLP skills. And we skill them using a machine learning platform in itself with pattern recognition, many other skills, so that they can be catapulted into AI services. So 80% of our workforce comes from youth from very low income, what we call below poverty level backgrounds. And that is true whether it's our workforces in India and a small workforce in the US, And we have young people in the US who come from very low income backgrounds. So that inclusivity is the other exciting thing about AI creating jobs.
So if I can add to that, we see now a new trend of what is called the new collar jobs. So no more blue collar and white collar. It's the new collar trend is about not going to a 4 years degree college and like something that it costs a lot of money and it doesn't really prepare you for the workforce of tomorrow. There's a lot of institutes and even governments that are now looking into how to train the workforce of tomorrow with the skills that will be needed.
So we are on the other side of the table because we are in charge of the payment. So nobody likes payroll mistakes unless you've been added like 3 or 4 zeros at the end of your gross payment, and then you really like payroll mistakes. Basically, for me, when we started, my biggest frustration coming from the operational side for many years, is that you can build an amazing relationship with the customer, you can have amazing team, but eventually, at the end of the day, if one of them is doing a mistake at the end of the month, everything that you established with the customer is worth nothing. And for us, AI is just an amazing enabler to ensure that everything is accurate to the point, to the zero mistakes within payroll calculation, within payments, and within compliance. And for us, this is really a game changer. It just makes us better without having more workforce, without having the frustration of human mistakes. Makes our life easier, and I think this is basically the basic of AI for us.
Great. So we're talking a lot about how AI can create a better employee experience and easier way of working, can create new jobs, can change the candidate and apply experience, can make payroll more accurate, and kind of automate out parts of that. Would love for each of you to kind of discuss out limitations you found either in algorithms being applied to your space or just generally working with AI. Where should we think AI can be very powerful, but actually having a human or restricting AI in certain areas is the way to go for now?
So I think that even before we dive into AI, maybe one of the main reasons why AI is so strong and was strong last year is because of big data, right? Everyone collects a lot of information. All of our systems are right now into our computer on the cloud, so we have the ability to actually take this information and digest it and kind of work on it. So I think that one limitation with AI is actually taking all of the information and arrange it in a way that makes sense, to make the information semantics. So I think that one of the main challenges that we are facing right now is how to label the information without even understanding the information. So we invest a lot of time on researching and taking the information into pillars and say, okay, we got this from the HR system, we got this from the CRS system, let's think about how to label this information. Let's think about the business process that an employee is doing on the CRM, and let's try to build the set of features that the AI makes sense to work. So this is one limitation, how to build and manage the data, the information. Second thing is when we try, another nice use case of AI that we do, we try to help an employee when he needs help. Because sometimes when you ask someone to do something, he will try to do it and invest a lot of time and won't ask for help. So, and if you take an organization with 60,000 people, it can be millions of dollars spent in a year, right? So we try to predict and say, okay, this user needs help. Let's give him a list of articles, tutorials that make sense for him to use in order to be trained and save time, etc. So we always try to identify what this person wants to do. We know the system, we know the application, we know all of all of those business processes, but we need some input from the user sometimes to better define the intent of the person who's trying to use the system. So those are the two pieces that we do manually. Of course, it can be optimized using other techniques which are not AI at the moment, but this is how I see it.
So we're using AI to basically help businesses, find the right employee. And the AI is not supposed to replace like the recruiter or the HR. It's supposed to help him with or to augment the tasks that are more, like the screening and like stuff that can be automated and processes when big data is involved. But still we think that there's like value in like sitting in an interview and then looking in the eyes of the candidate and judging whether or not it's the right fit for the company, is there like a culture fit and so on. We don't see that changing in the near future, but we do see a big shift in the steps that will help you get your decision on whether or not it's the right fit.
I will add to what Avi said, and I will say that we are trying to see how we are not making an abuse with AI. It's very tempting to automate everything, to onboard employees automatically, to give them just bots, to fill forms. But there is a very thin line where, as a person, I want to speak with a person because I think it's important enough for someone to give me the attention that I need. So this is the line that we're really trying to keep. Onboarding process, for example, I feel, as myself, I'm going into a new place. I want somebody to greet me. I don't want a machine sending me a chat saying, hi, welcome. So this is the line where I think AI can be great, but can be also, it will never replace the personal touch that we still need to keep.
So I'd like to look at it from the viewpoint of how AI services are different from IT services. I worked in IT services for a very long time, and there is a significant difference. And the difference is that AI services are on demand, they're very agile, dynamically changing. So if you look at our workforce as compared to large IT companies that are working, so they do the services, they train the people, and they may work on their projects for 1, 2, 3 years. In AI services, what we're finding is the customers are learning and changing the rules, the way they want it categorized, the way they want it annotated on a pretty dynamic basis. And to some extent, they are making those changes with the insight that we're providing them and the services we're rendering, which means we, as a technology services company, have to be agile, have to be nimble, and have to be dynamic. What does that translate into? It means that our skilling has to track very carefully, and the quality and the throughput has to track what the client's needs are on this on-demand workforce that have to respond to clients. Which means that our skilling platforms and the custom skilling and the technologies we use have to be in themselves machine learning based. So it's become it's not just doing services in a new area, it's in fact changing the very way that we are preparing our workforce and the way they are responding and the way they are doing those services. So everything is on the platform, everything is delivered on the platform, the instructions come on the platform. So it is a completely new way of looking at the services needed to make AI deployable.
Great. And just in our remaining few minutes, the thing we have on this panel, such a wealth of knowledge of how to build AI technologies and AI companies, over $300 million raised, decades of time just from this panel group alone. And so if you can give one piece of advice, one sentence of advice to this group on building AI technologies today, what would that be?
Well, I love AI. And I would say that think of your service partner, because that's what we are, as a partner that you work with closely, and that this is a very iterative way of deploying AI.
Great.
I would vote for this. And I would add that every change that we are trying, or every workflow that we are trying to implement AI, I would break into very, very, very small pieces, going through a very deep processes of what is the requirements, how a human will do that, in order to assure that we can build this correctly. It's very tempting to go and just AI everything, and then see that we kind of miss lots of gaps in between.
So I'm going to repeat what I heard all day. You need data, and a lot of it. So if there are like young startups here, like find ways to get the data, partner with companies that do have data, or find other ways to get the data, but you need data in order to train your AI models and solutions.
I would say, we are short in time, so I would say choose your battles. If you're investing in AI, try it exactly to look where in the company to invest. Always search for the ROI eventually, because AI is a project that can take time, and it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining. And thanks for a great Future of Work panel.
Thank you.
Good luck.